I'm trying to spell it.
Pause it, but I want to play it, when I want to. So.
Third one?
Yeah, that's it. Does that have sound? Pause that. I want to play it like the full screen. How do I play this? I'll just
Hit the left button.
That's okay. It could have been me. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Healthmasters, the Arkansas Department of Health's Toastmasters Club. We're glad to see so many visitors with us today. We'll get a chance for you to introduce yourselves a little later, but we want to welcome you today to our family. This is our anniversary meeting, our first anniversary. And we've come a long way, and we're thankful that you're here with us today. I want you to let you know that you can go ahead and get you something to eat now, before we get a little further into it if you're hungry now. Oh, you can go ahead, yeah. Okay.
I'm waiting on somebody to get started.
Yeah. And while everybody's getting them something to eat, I'll put somebody on the spot because it's their birthday today. I'm talking about you, Mr. Hurd. Let's all sing happy birthday to Mr. Hurd. He served as our Sergeant of Arms through our first year. 1, 2, 3. Let's sing happy birthday to him. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Hurd. Happy birthday to you. Woo. He had a key role in getting our club established, and we really thank him for that. Okay, well, we're right then. Okay. I'm going to ask everybody to stop where you are and go ahead and stand so we can open up with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm not going to delay any longer. I'm going to turn you over to the hands of our Toastmaster for today, Mr. David Vredney. Another key person in getting our club started here.
A little over a year ago, I walked into Director of HR's office, Xavier Hurd, and I said, Xavier, how about we start a Toastmasters club at the health department? Because it can help employees become even better listeners, even better speakers, even better leaders. And Xavier looked at me and he said, get out of my office. No, he didn't say that. Actually, he said something I'll never forget. He said, David, let's do it. And I didn't know my selling skills were that good. Convince Xavier, but actually I didn't have to convince him because he knew already about Toastmasters. He knew about the possible benefits it could add to the health department. We then held a demonstration meeting. We had 20 members charter as part of our club to join as a charter member. We formed the club, we held officer elections, and this wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Xavier's support. Because of his assistance, we've now been able to meet for over a year, and I want to commend Xavier, and I will give him a round of applause. And actually, the reason that I'm here right now, that you're seeing me, is because of Toastmasters. Because you might know, I used to be a member of the Toastmasters Club down the street at St. Vincent. And I met a gentleman named Dathan Johnson. And he said, Dave, you should apply for a job at the health department. And I did, and the rest is history. So because of Toastmasters, I also met my girlfriend in Toastmasters. So it's more than just leadership, speaking, and listening. Networking. You meet great people. People like Adrian Duncan, the gentleman out front with the red sport coat, and his wife Barbara. Adrian, a very inspirational person. Did you know he's going to be a 2-time distinguished Toastmaster shortly. And did you know that he has given over 500 speeches in Toastmasters? Did you know that every meeting he knows 2 or 3 speeches he'll give at any time? And he always said, Dave, you should always have 2 or 3 speeches. You never know when you'll need to fill in. Adrian's a very inspirational person to me. He's a mentor of our club, and he's an outstanding club member. We really appreciate his participation. If you're coming to our club for the first time, you may not know, but we meet here every Monday. I see Rachel's here. Glad to see her. Glad to see Warren, a number of guests. We're very excited to have you. But we meet here. You can come here anytime, any Monday from 12 noon to 1. You can bring guests. You can bring your spouse. You can bring anyone you want. And you might know we open the club to people outside the health department. Now, Adrian likes that. Adrian claps at everything. But there's a lot to clap about here. But one of the things, and by the way, what do you like most about Toastmasters? Fellowship. Fun. Food. Fellowship, fun, and food. One of the things I like is listening. You might think, what do you mean, Dave, listening? Because you get a chance to listen to people present information in a very condensed way. Because a lot of times people will tell you stories, give you information, give you advice that they've learned over their lifetime. And you'll see in the agenda, the speech is normally 5 to 7 minutes. So they're taking a lifetime of information, condensing it, basically digging out all the dirt and giving you the gems, giving you the gold. And that's one of the things I love most about Toastmasters. It teaches you how to net things out for people. And teaches you how to listen. And speaking of listening, why don't we find out what our ah counter is doing today with that silver bell, our ah counter. She'll explain the role. Gloria Bastidas. Gloria.
Thank you. We have a gift for every guest. Every guest have a small but precious gift for every guest today.
Thank you for being here today with us. And I'm going to explain my role. It's a very interesting role. I think David mentioned it more than one time. My role today is to have the opportunity to practice my listening skills. So the purpose of the ah counter is to note any word or sound used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting, such as and, well, but, and that one is my role. Thank you.
See, you'll see, and you'll hear that bell occasionally, just testing. You'll see, if you look on your agenda at the top, you'll see word of the day. That's the time in the meeting where, well, we're going to, actually at that point now, where we're going to find out what the word is, but it's important to write that word down, because if you're called on, try to use that word of the day. Try to use the word of the day. Let's find out what the word is, which will be presented by our grammarian, Tanisha Richardson.
Toastmasters word of the day.
Commemorate.
All right. The definition of commemorate: call to remembrance, to mark by someone by some ceremony or observation, or to observe. Commemorate our 1-year anniversary.
Thank you. Thank you, Tanisha. And partly to commemorate our meeting, we will have now the speaking portion of our meeting. Our first speaker will be presenting to you from the Competent Communicator Manual, Speech 3, Get to the Point. Speaking for 7 minutes, her speech is titled, The Smallest Things. What's the smallest thing you know? What is the smallest thing that you know? Please welcome our Vice President of Membership-elect for next year, Jennifer Medley.
Babies are such a nice way to start people, don't you think? Around the world, every day, 360. About 11,000 babies are born every day. Arkansas, 105 new Razorback fans are born every day. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Today I want to talk to you about 2 ways that we can help all these babies become healthy, happy people. So, breastfeeding was recently called a silver bullet in a Save WHO, the American Academy of Pediatrics, for breastfeeding for 2011, the Surgeon General issued that all mothers breastfeed their children for at least. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, this is her. That's been about, I wanted to breastfeed her for about a year. Not the norm in our society. To me, as long as you wean her before kindergarten, I'm good with it. But that's what new moms need. They really need that support from their spouses and their parents. So the science supports it, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here. It's also my daughter, I can't help myself. So, but mother's milk is really known as liquid gold. So when you first have a baby, that first milk or colostrum, all the nutrients and antibodies that a new baby needs. Grows so that it always has the right proteins and water and sugar and fat, everything they need to grow, just as they grow, to help them be and stay healthy. I don't know if you knew this, I just learned this the other day, that there are over 100 components. Really important. So, asthma, it helps reduce. If a new mother can breastfeed and wants to. Mom, talking as a mom who breastfed, life is a lot less complicated. Moms need to learn how to do it, and baby, life is really a lot easier. Also, don't have to get up in the middle of the night to warm up the bottle. Breastfeeding also provides a good bonding time. Also helps when Another thing I want to talk to you about, since we've been talking about physical contact, baby wearing. So y'all are probably wondering what this contraption is that I've got on right here. And mine's called a Moby Wrap. I'll just show you how it works. Pop the baby in here. I use that. Put him in here. Darling, she's very happy. Loved being in the Moby Wrap. So there was a study in the journal. Babies who are warned or hours a day cry 43%. Our society, you know, when I was pregnant, it was kind of the norm. Babies are going to cry, they're going to do this all day. It just sounds horrible, right? Baby wear. Also helps make for healthy babies in a baby carrier. Technology and improves. It's easy for new moms to nurse. Of obnoxious onlookers. Confidence in the mom. Learn that you're going to respond quickly, and that helps them to build trust. Okay? Go out and be an advocate among your family and friends. All those things are so important, and so we need to give
Thank you, Jennifer. If you notice the baby's expression, that's the exact expression I had when I went to my first Toastmasters meeting. One of unbounded joy and wonder. Moving on to our next speaker. Are you a dreamer? If not, our next speaker believes you should be. She'll be speaking from the Competent Communicator Manual, speech number 9, Persuade with Power, but actually, this is her 10th Toastmaster speech. And you'll hear more about that later. Speaking for 7 minutes, her speech is titled, Dream Deferred. Please welcome our President-elect for next year, Dana Hill.
What happens to a dream deferred? Dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore? Like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Bags like a heavy load, or does Toastmaster, Healthmasters, and wonderful honored guests, thank you for being here today. I know that poem is really not a great poem for lunchtime. And I know this may sound a little crazy to you, but that is one of my favorite poems by Langston Hughes. It's an old poem. It's been around a long time. Learned it back in high school. That poem reminds me of the regrets that I can have if I do not follow my dream. No, the secret to living is giving. And when you have dreams, you have the potential and inspiration and meaning to life to those that don't have those things. I actually didn't have this in my speech today, but I just had a very timely conversation up in Henrietta, Oklahoma. I don't know if you know that place. Very small, very poor, but it's famous because Troy Aikman grew up there. Y'all all know who Troy Aikman is. We had a little mini discussion about how he is the hope and dreams of those people there. Chasing your dreams. Courage can fuel the most wonderful successes in your life. The other day, I went to visit my mother and my grandmother. My mother and my grandmother will be 93. My grandmother's in very poor health, and my mother spends her time taking care of my grandmother. I was sitting there, and my mother said, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be? So we had this really lovely conversation of places of her dreams of where she liked. I left there, though I had to tell you that my heart was actually broken. It's a heartache for me because I see her in her life not being able to accomplish. My dad died when he was very officially now she's taking care of my life to help other people, which is a wonderful and honorable thing. Her dreams have become deferred. I have in my hand $5. That's a lot more than Nathaniel gives away. Who wants this? Who wants it? There you go. It is yours. Very good. Dewey did just what he should have done. If you sat in your seat, why did you sit in your seat? Why not? To meet your dreams, you have to take action. Oh, yes, it's kind of scary because sometimes we have failures. Don't failures lead to success? And then when you have successes, how wonderful do you feel? You become alive. You are never too old to dream. I am 52 years old. And I'm going to tell you in a minute of the dreams that I have. And I'm not too old to dream or to get those dreams. It is scary, but fear can make us feel alive. It can make us feel youthful. So what are your dreams? Anybody want to share just one? Go. That's a great dream. I have big dreams and little dreams. I want to go to Africa and watch the animals run across the Serengeti. Wanted to do it all my life. I want to eat my way through Italy. Is anybody with me on that one? I also want to finish my degree. I'm actually a PhD student, and I want to finish. That's a huge thing for me. I also have small dreams. I would like to see what it's like to really try to eat a large, deep dish pepperoni pizza from Pizza Hut. I'm very specific about this. All by myself without any guilt. I want to see if I can do it. That's a dream of mine. I'd also like to ride on a zip line, and I know some of you have done that. And I want to do that. I actually am currently in the middle of making 100 square. You know, people call that your bucket list. I want to do that. Though, I have to realize what those dreams are. That is the first step to taking action to meeting your dreams. Actually sit down and think, okay, what is it I want to do? The second step is what I'm going to do with those dreams. I've actually started a little bit. My husband and I have talked a little bit about what it would cost to go to Italy and how could we have the time off and how could we save the money to go there and when we want to do it. Write that down. I need to have specific goals and not just say, I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Italy next summer. Or I want to ride on that zip line. Or this summer is over, this year. I also have to have my objectives, right? Cost me some money. Am I going to need a friend to go with me to hold my hand until I get on there? Those are things I need to do to get there. But I can do it. I've done it with many things in my life, and I can do it with my 100 things. You can do it too. Do not let your dreams dried up like a raisin in the sun. I don't want mine dried up. Go out there. Make your list. Make your goals. And be the hope and inspiration for everybody around you.
My dream is to replace Judge Judy when she retires. No, that's not my dream. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., though, once said that the time is always right to do what is right. Never too late to follow your dreams. Fantastic speech. And her 10th speech. And she will be receiving this certificate. This is mine. I got this. But she will be receiving this soon. And when you give your 10th speech, you'll receive your Competent Communicator Award. I got this out of my closet yesterday, and very proud to have this. Dusted it off. It's great, isn't it? She'll get that soon. In fact, let's give her another round of applause. Now, our third speaker will be sharing how our Healthmasters Club has been doing this past year. Specifically, how are we doing against our goals of becoming a distinguished club in our district? Speaking for 7 minutes, his speech is titled, Annual Club Goals Update. Please welcome our Vice President of Education-elect for next year and our current VP of Education, Philip Borden.
Thank you. Well, as Dave mentioned, the speech that Dana just gave is her 10th and final speech in the Competent Communication Manual. When you join Toastmasters, you will receive your very own Competent Communication Manual that you can work through at your own pace. It takes you through how to prepare and present 10 different speeches on different topics that you choose, and each one of them builds on a different skill that we learn in Toastmasters. Now, you may hear other clubs refer to this as the basic manual. After this year that we've had, the year that we're commemorating today in our club, I don't think I ever want to call this the basic manual again. I was thinking about how we have heard so many deep, thought-provoking, funny, informative, and highly original speeches in this club that have been anything but basic. So I don't want to call it the basic manual. Well, having 4 members of your club to complete Their Competent Communicator Manual in a given Toastmasters year is a big step toward accomplishing the 10 annual club goals that Toastmasters gives to every Toastmasters club every year. Now, the year ends on June 30th, so we're coming up to the end of the year, and a new year will start on July 1st. These 10 goals that each club has cover everything from communication awards like what Dana will receive, to leadership awards, to bringing new members into the club. It covers, among other things, officer training that's offered for our officers 2 times a year. It covers the election of new officers for the upcoming year. And we elected new officers last week and reported those. Well, between now and June 30th, we have the opportunity to earn as many more of those points as we can. That's not very much time, but I'm here to give you an update on where we stand. As of today, we have accomplished officially 6 of those 10 goals. So we've already done that so far this year for our club. That's worth a round of applause. As Vice President of Education for our club, I will submit Dana's award information. I'll do that as soon as I get home tonight. So later tonight, we'll have 7 of those 10 goals accomplished. You are all invited to come back next week to our regular Monday meeting right here at noon in the auditorium. You're on your own for lunch on that one. But you can bring your lunch. And if you do come as a guest to our meeting next week, you'll hear 2 more members of our club give their 10th speech and complete their Competent Communicator Manual. At that time, I will enter and submit their award information, and that will bring us to 8 of the annual club goals accomplished. I have one more project to finish for an advanced communication award that I'm working on. It's actually one 1-hour session on how to conduct productive meetings. And that could be a Toastmasters meeting, or it's information that you could use maybe in your job or in your church or any group that you're a part of. Good information that could help you. That obviously won't fit inside our regular club meetings, but that special session has been scheduled for next Thursday, June 20th, right here in the auditorium at noon. Next Thursday, June 20th. There will be a charge of probably $2, maybe $3, depending on how many sign up. That's to cover the cost of the materials and to pay for the workbook that you'll be able to keep with you. There's a sign-up sheet in the back if you're interested in that, or you can see me after the meeting if you have any other questions. When I finish that project next week, that will bring us to 9 goals accomplished for the year. 9 goals is an incredible milestone in the world of Toastmasters, because if you achieve 9 of the 10 goals, you're not just a distinguished club, you're a President's Distinguished Club. I'm not sure why they call it that, but whatever they call it, I want it, to achieve 9 of the 10 goals for the club. And we are on track to accomplish, that's the highest recognition level that an individual Toastmasters club can achieve for the year, and we're on track to reach that goal in just our first full year as a club. I'm excited about that. Just to put that in perspective, there are currently 90 Toastmasters clubs in our district, District 43, which is all of Arkansas, most of Mississippi, and most of Tennessee. Of those 90 clubs, can you guess how many of those clubs have already achieved either 9 or 10 of the 10 club goals? It's actually 10 clubs, 10 of the 90 clubs that have achieved that. Now, I'm sure there are other clubs like us that are still on track to get there by the end of June, but as far as who has officially accomplished that, only 10 out of 90 clubs. So it's an elite group that we have the opportunity to join. Now, there's an if that we need to talk about, and it's a pretty big if. We have to meet a minimum number of active members as a club in order to get credit for any of the points that we accomplish. So here's where that leaves us. We can be a President's Distinguished Club for this year if we can bring 3 more new members into our club between now and June 30th. I'm looking at a whole lot more than 3 people. We just need 3 of you to join. We can maybe lock this door and unlock it when we get to 3. But if you're interested, we can get your information at the end of the meeting. If more than 3 people would like to join today, that's wonderful. We will bring the first 3 dues-paying members to set you to become active in June, so that you'll count toward this year, and any beyond that could go active on July 1st and count toward next year, because we'll need new members next year also. In fact, you may not be aware, you can join Toastmasters at any time in the year and pay prorated dues, depending on where you are in the dues cycle. You can get in at any time. So that's all we need you to do, is 3 members between now and June 30th, and any beyond that can go active on July 1st, which is just 3 weeks from today. Well, all in all, it's been a great year. It's certainly been worth commemorating today. We will finish the year strong, and we will achieve that President's Distinguished Club status in our first full year as a club. Mr. Toastmaster.
The role of VP of Education, that's a tough role, by the way. And I've been the president of a club before, and Nathaniel, the president's tough, but hey, VP of Education, you got to assign the roles, you got to track folks, you got to track the awards, our club progress. I mean, that is tough. He is excellent. Let's give him a round of applause. And that's amazing that I didn't know that we're on track to receive that award. We just need, I guess, a few more members. How many do we need, Philip? Need 3, all right. You didn't say listening. Listening is something Toastmasters brings up. I was so focused. I just couldn't believe that when he said that. I just was so caught up on that we're already at that point. Now it's time to give you an opportunity to speak on your feet rather than on your seat. And we do that through something called table topics. James is going to come up here in a second, and if he calls on you to answer a question, you need to stand up, and you need to talk for at least 1 minute. At least 1 minute. Rachel just said something. Don't pick her. But actually, if you're a guest, you won't be called on. Don't worry about it. There is a gift. And actually, by the way, stick around, because there's going to be some door prizes. One of them values it's $100. It is. But before the value of the prize, before we get to that, let's have our table topic master come up, James Hicks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Health Masters, and honored guests. Welcome. What I'm going to transition into, as David mentioned, was the table topics, extemporaneous speaking. At this point, we're going to do it a little bit different today. We're going to actually do it in terms of how we would actually do in competition mode. So I'm going to pick 3 people. Should that be enough? 3 people to come up, and you'll each get a different question, but you'll be given 1 minute minimum, preferably speak no more than 2.5 minutes. So everybody looks away at this point. If I can get Nathaniel, Xavier, get Adrian. Nathaniel.
Yes, sir.
Having served in an officer role with Healthmasters for a year now, how has it benefited you in your personal and work life? I'm going to repeat the question one more time. Nathaniel, having served in an officer role with Healthmasters for to commemorate our first year. How has it benefited you in your work and personal life?
Thank you, Mr. Topic Master. How has it benefited me? Be honest, for those who really know me, know that standing here in front of a group is not something I love to do. My throat kind of clenches up, and it's this feeling of everybody's looking at you. And in a year's time, I've gotten this comfort with being up front and having to speak because I have to speak whether I'm comfortable with it or not. And to be able to stand here and speak in front of a group of people, and then even personally where I have to go speak different places. In this year's time, since being in Toastmasters, I had to do 2 commencement speeches for graduations. I've had to go out of town and speak for a Black History Month. This past weekend, I had to speak at the 108th annual meeting for a women's group here in Little Rock. And just having to organize speeches based on the principles we've learned here. Little things like knowing that if I can't write what I have to say in 1 sentence, then give me an hour to get it to you, it's not going to help me either. I'm learning now to take what's in my heart, make it translate well to my mouth, and not stop there, but hit your ears where you hear what I want you to hear, and internalize it in your heart, where at some point now we're talking heart to heart. And if I hadn't joined Toastmasters, I don't think I'd have the comfort of standing here even doing that. And if you're on the fence about Toastmasters, if you're like me and you hate public speaking, a year later, you'll be commemorating the distance you've come. And I challenge any of you, if you're thinking about it, go ahead and just make that move. Because a dream deferred can blow up. Just don't take that step.
Xavier, anniversaries are a time to reflect on accomplishments and challenges you've overcome. Regarding Toastmasters, what has been the biggest challenge to overcome, and what's your most memorable accomplishment?
Mr. Tabletop, read that one more time again.
I was going to read.
Make sure I'm clear on that.
Anniversaries are a time to reflect on accomplishments and challenges you've overcome. Regarding Toastmasters, what has been your biggest challenge to overcome, and what are your most memorable accomplishments?
I'd like to answer that in those 2 questions with one answer. For most of you who know me, I'm a stutterer. Have been all my life. And for many, many years, the thought of coming up here would have just been too great. Because I grew up with people laughing and stuff at me all those years. And so all through school, I was never asked to do oral book reports and things of that nature because the teacher was trying to protect me. Well, what she really was doing, or he was doing, was hindering me. Because then that became a crutch for me to live by. And so it took things like Toastmaster and a lot of other programs for me to overcome that. I'm going to always be a stutterer. What I've got to do to learn how to become an effective communicator while stuttering also, because I can't let that be a crutch, because all I've got going for me is to be able to communicate what I'm thinking and sharing it with you. So therefore, that's one of the things that I've had to overcome being a stutterer, and Toastmaster has helped me reinforce to be able to do that. You know, it's kind of like they were talking about, you have to always be prepared. For those of you who grew up in the black church, there's 2 things you know. You always got to have a song and a prayer ready, because you never know where they're going to call on you. And that's what I've learned. Thank you very much.
Adrian, Toastmasters' core principles are communication and leadership. How have you developed these 2 areas? And if you were chosen to select a 3rd core principle, what would it be and why? Repeat it one more time. Adrian, Toastmasters' core principles are communication and leadership. How have you developed in these two areas? And if you were chosen to select a third core principle, what would it be and why?
Thank you, Mr. David Topic Master. Mike may not be on. Is he on? Yes, Mike. Well, first of all, you got to start with something like this. Number one, number two, number three, start with a guess and start with an opportunity to simply give someone else something that's most important to you. The first important part of my life was communication. I now have 3 competent communicators completed and the second DTM completed. And with the third part of that is to see others finish their competent communicator. The next part is to do the leadership manual, complete that. That's most important to me. Helping others like Dave and like Zaire and like Nathaniel and like Philip and like each one of the ladies in this group and our guests to show them how you can take just a simple item as a gesture or as a visual, as Jennifer did with her baby and wrapping her up and taking care of her, then closing it with saying, let's support our family. I think that's what Toastmasters does. I think that's what I need to do, is to help our guests see how they can improve by just simply supporting our Health Masters. To commemorate that, I believe each guest, each person in this room needs an opportunity to have a gift, free, no charge, but to encourage them, most of all, to encourage them so that they too may have an opportunity to say to someone else, would you consider joining Toastmasters to develop your skills in speaking, in training, doing seminars, just simply traveling the United States, around the world, to Italy, to Rome, South America, to those beautiful places that most people have never thought about. But when you get on the Google, just Google and see where you want to go and see how you want to get there without hesitation. But take you a gift and invite individuals across the world. Do you know that there's Toastmasters around the world? There's Toastmasters in almost every country. There's Toastmasters in every state in the United States. We've got 191 countries that we can visit and share Toastmasters with friends. No matter where you go, there's a Toastmaster sitting next to you in the next seat, in the next company, the next corporation. There are closed companies, closed corporations, so if you belong to that company, corporation, you can join. If not, you could consider opening up Health Masters to the community so that the community can join and help you improve your skills by training, teaching. Doing the most important part is to dream. If you cannot dream that you have 1 DTM, 2 DTMs, 3 DTMs, and most of all, share your love of Toastmasters with each other in the group. I admire each person in this room more than you'll ever know. Because first of all, you stepped out by faith, just being willing to visit with us today. So before you leave today, be sure that you take home a free gift that you can share with someone else in America, Italy, Iran, wherever you go. What is your dream? What country? What things do you want to do in this life to make a better quality of life for your friends, neighbors, and most of all, your family? Help your family grow. Support them in whatever they're doing. I'm sure that most of them want a promotion. That means more money in your pocket. Because if they have money, you can borrow it somehow, some way. It may be a car, truck, it may be almost anything. It's worth it to you to help share the gospel of Toastmasters. So the gospel of Toastmasters to you can be the very best quality of life that you have. Healthmasters has helped me in this way. I believe that I have grown more this year by helping each one of you to know how to develop your skills. Just stepping out by faith. Even though you're nervous and you're saying, oh, help, Lord, I don't know if I can do this next one or not. I'm just about to topple. I'm almost toppling. But most of all, please help me join us to commemorate, and to commemorate Health Masters. Mr. Tabletop.
Thank you very much to all of the individuals that responded to the table topics. As you see, the extemporaneous speaking sometimes, well, there's no right or there's no wrong answer. But having the courage to get up and give a response, to be able to communicate what you want effectively to the audience is what this is about, to help you grow in your communication and leadership skills. Let's give them all a round of applause again.
Thank you, James. See, we want to keep this meeting on schedule. We're a few minutes behind. We're going to plow through this because time is always of the essence. Make sure we get you out by 1 o'clock. You may know Norman Vincent Peale. Do you know that he said that the trouble with most of us is that we would rather be ruined by praise than saved by criticism? But fortunately, in Toastmasters, we have the opportunity to receive constructive criticism, help us improve. And leading us is our substitute general evaluator for Tony Bailey, Toastmaster Wanda Simon.
Well, we usually have three evaluator for each speech. Today we're going to evaluate the first two speeches, and Jennifer Medley's speech will be evaluated by Adrian Duncan.
Madam Toastmaster, General Evaluators, thank you. Miss Jennifer, can you see me from where you are? I have a question. Are you good at baseball or basketball? I'm going to let you reach out and take this. This is something to commemorate this day of your 10th speech. Reach out and touch someone. Tell them what it is and why it is.
What's that?
That is to commemorate this day celebration.
Okay.
That is
Very
a gold
much.
dollar. Thank you very much. Good job.
All right.
Now I will tell you what she did. With your permission, I'll tell you what she did. With her opening, she got our attention. We're talking about babies. I have not yet met anyone that doesn't love babies and doesn't like babies. The content was opening and body and closing to tell us how we can improve our family communications and support. I thought that was excellent. We all agree? Give her a hand. We agree. The closing was to tell us, here's how I helped my family, my friends, but most of all myself and my family, my husband, and my baby. Do you agree as Toastmasters that this would help you if you would use those precepts? Give her a hand. Question, did you notice that her sentences were complete? Did you notice that her dress and attire was appropriate? Did you notice that her attitude was above and beyond the ordinary? Did you notice that she closed with confidence saying, hey, let's support Toastmasters, let's support our families? Do you agree? I think she did. I think she did an excellent job. I believe that she's one of our most improved communicators in Healthmasters. Do you agree? Yes. I agree. When she started, I remember she had some difficulty in just simply standing up. She would say, did I remember everything? My first 6 speeches, I didn't remember anything I did in the first 6 speeches I did. And that's the truth, so help me. I did 1 minute, that was the end of it. I sat down and did not remember what I said or did in the first 6 speeches. Jennifer, I would say that you're ready for the next level, and that is your bronze, silver, and gold. And I would say the words that you used were very detailed. They were very specific. They gave us an opportunity to think. They gave us descriptive words so that we could see what you did. Even though as a blind person, I could see what you did because I know enough about babies. And I'm the 9th of 11, so I know how precious, how beautiful, and how wonderful your presentation was to our Toastmasters to help us to grow. Is that true? Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you very much. Excellent job.
Our next speaker was Dana Hill, and to evaluate her speech, we have Ms. Barbara Williams. Oh, Dewey. Barbara Dewey.
Evaluator. I know Barbara and I look a lot alike, but we'll go on. Dream deferred. An excellent speech. It reminds me of a quote from the scripture that says, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it's a tree of life. An excellent speech that she gave. She brought logical reasoning in to get us to understand how important it is for us to have dreams. Many people have told me you need to write your dreams down. This is the first time I've been told to write down 100 dreams. Very powerful. Very powerful. And if each one of us write down those 100 dreams, you'll see them come to pass. Because the first start is to put them on paper. Write the vision, make it plain. Excellent speech. I like what she said, do not let your dreams dry up like a raisin in the sun. Very graphic depiction of what so many dreams happen that go to because people didn't get up and take action. Thank you for that $5. Good step toward getting a good evaluation. Your personal examples made the speech much more effective. And by you giving your personal examples made me think about what personal examples of my dreams need to be written down and accomplished. Excellent speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Dewey. At this time, we have our grammarian's report, and in the interest of time, I'm just going to report. Tanisha kept track of how many people used the word of the day. Nathaniel used it once.
Thank you.
Philip used it twice. And Adrian used it 888 times. Or 8, one or the other. Our timers report, which was me. Jennifer cooed like a baby for 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Dana dreamed for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Philip reached for the gold for 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Our table topic speakers told us what they learned. Nathaniel for 2 minutes, Xavier for 1 minute and 30 seconds, and Adrian for 3 minutes and 59 seconds. Adrian evaluated Jennifer for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and Dewey evaluated Dana for about a minute and a half. And I will turn it back over to Dave.
Thank you so much. We're short on time. Door prizes. If you know the answer to this question, Barbara will give you a door prize. The third prize will be the 1-week membership for a spa for 2 for a $100 value. But the first 2 prizes, I don't even know what Barbara's got, but look at those packages in the back. There's something nice in there. Do you know, the first question, do you know the year Toastmasters was founded? What was that? What was that? 1924, that's correct. Adrian. All right, now the next question. Well, let's actually, for these next 2 questions, let's give our guests a chance to answer these questions. Adrian knows all, but Adrian will get that prize. The next question. What is the name of the founding member of Toastmasters? Who started Toastmasters? What was his name? His first name was Ralph. His last name was, if you're a member of the club, you can Google it. Check. All right, let me ask you another question. Who is our president of our club? Who said that first? Who said that first? All right, she got it. Barbara? All right, let's give her a round of applause. Young lady in front. And the third question, whoever gets this correct will get that $100 prize for 2 spa treatment at Planet Spa. And the question is, what was the founding date of our Healthmasters Club? What was the founding date, the month, day, and year? What was that in back? It wasn't June 10th. It was in June. No. No. You just have to shout it out. You can't get it, Dewey. You're a member of the club. June 4th? All right, James's mother. James's mother. Right over there, Barbara. You got it. All right. And it is close to 1 o'clock. Nathaniel, why don't you come up? It's been my pleasure to be your Toastmaster today. I think we have time maybe for one question. Any questions? All guests. Adrian's going to give $1 gold coin if you came as a guest. Yes, all guests. Gold coins. Pass these out.
Yes, raise your hand if you're a guest.
All right, I'll pass that one.
All guests, please raise your hand, please.
I know we're coming to a close, but please don't leave till we get a chance to cut some cake and you take some cake with you. Are there any questions that you'd like to ask now about the club or anything? These hands are up for the gold coins, I think. I'm not trying to ask any questions. Give me my money first, then I'll ask some questions. Do you have any more back there? Any more door prizes back there?
Well, this is one.
Did you have any other? Is that gone? Okay. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming out for our anniversary here. Dana made a comment earlier about what I give away as gifts. And I have one to give away today because we have a birthday person with us today. So I'll give away our birthday dollar to Mr. Hurd.
Why, thank you.
He's so generous.
I know I'm known for my generosity. Ask my wife back there. Is there any questions? Anybody ask anything they want to ask?
New members, how many is joining?
Oh, has anybody made up their mind already that they want to join? Make sure. We have one back there. Way to go. One more here. Hey, way to go. So we have two.
I saw a hand back here. New member back in the back. Did I see a hand? Right here. So I'm in the hand. Who's that? One here, one here. All right. One here. I'm kind of short on hands today.
All right. Got another one over there too? Perfect, perfect. And the first person to raise their hand, why don't you go ahead and stand for us? Go ahead and stand for us and tell us who you are. Go ahead. She thought I put her on the spot, but why I asked her to do that for us, I'm going to sponsor her for her first year. Okay. For those of us who are members, well, all the members come forward so everybody can know who the members are. In case they have any questions, they can ask us individually. So make sure everybody can see who the members are. It's been a great year. Thank you. Somebody's taking a picture? Oh. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Make sure you get some cake and some more pizza. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
This is your prize.
Three
Dr. Bill,
Musketeers.
please get it to you.
It's okay, I was out of town for a week.
Yeah, I did try. I was going to email you, and I was so excited.